Welcome back to Living with a Classic. It is a miserably cold and rainy day, but I have a really fun car here to test drive and get a feel for before we start working on it. It's an early XJ6 Series 1. It's registered in 1970, but I feel like it's a 69 with some of the early things it has on it, especially the carburation is pretty early. It does have the chrome dials as well. It's a 4.2, and it also has some other early things like you'll see here. The tail lights are the early ones and a couple other things. It's a beautiful car owned by a guy who has a really nice detail shop here close by where I actually have my Rover at the moment, and they're working on it, making it look fantastic, and this thing looks absolutely as new. However, it is most likely a very well maintained, never restored car. However, he doesn't have a lot of receipts on service records the last couple of years. So he wants to do the right thing, which is replace all the fluids, hoses, belts, and things, and make sure he has a good car. That's something I think is really important. Oh, we have something on the, it's raining on the lens. Sorry about that. But I think that is really important. You need to know what has been done and what hasn't been done on one of these. If you're unsure, just replace everything. So let's take it for a brief little drive, and then we'll do a walk around of it, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing to this beautiful Series 1. Inside, it looks as new. Absolutely gorgeous. I know he spent a lot of time on this thing, and this is what he does for a living. So of course, it's all absolutely fantastic. So I can't wait to see my Rover done, but let's get in here. Beautiful chrome dials. Let's fire it up and take it for a little bit of a drive. And yes, this is his business card here. So if you're local here in Sweden, definitely check him out. And he does paintless dent removals and detailing things, and everything I've seen come off there, it looks amazing. There we go. Fires up nicely. It's really cold today, so it's sat here for about maybe an hour and a half, and it's not running on. It has the hisser, the earlier chokes. I'll have a look at that when we take it inside a little bit later. But absolutely lovely old thing. There we go. Now we're charging, idling nicely. Good oil pressure. Yeah, I mean it's cooled down this time. It's really cold today. That doesn't work. That's something we're going to have a look at, but we will turn on these lights and go for a little test drive. One immediate thing I've noticed is there must be a stock exhaust system on this thing, an original mild steeled one, because it is whisper quiet like they're supposed to be. My XJ6 has some aftermarket, what's called aftermarket stainless unit that a lot of these have, and that unfortunately it does. I mean, they sound a bit more like Mark IIs then. They're not as a whisper quiet as an XJ should be. Especially Series 1s are extremely quiet. So far, we have the extremely light power steering on a Series 1. Everything else working nicely. I do feel some heat starting to come up here. He said the heat was working on the way here. I have noticed that I turned the windshield wiper on a little bit, and it travels a little bit too far. So I'm going to ask him if he wants me to adjust that. It's just one of the arms. But other than that, need some new wiper blades. This thing is lovely. It is maxing out the... I wonder if that's correct. Let's slow down here. We are... Oil pressure gauge is basically maxing out. But yeah, it's coming down now. So I think driving along there, we had like 55, 60 pounds of oil pressure. And that's a slight hesitation he talked about there, and there it comes. And that is, I can 99% sure pinpoint that. When I had a look at the car at his place a couple weeks ago, I noticed there was no dash pot oil for little dampers in the SUs, and that does make it really awkward to pull away like that. But once you're on the way, it is, this thing is running beautifully. But we're going to do a tune-up. Ignition components, plugs, we'll do all the hoses, flush the coolant system, thermostat. We're going to keep the plug wires because they are the beautiful original one. It still has the original little paper holder in the middle. I'll show you all that later when we're inside. Has a lot of really nice original touches, this car. But steering is extremely nice and light. Temperature is coming up. and it is absolutely a joy to drive this Series 1. It's going to get even better now when we go through every fluid, really transmission of course as well. It does have the really common power steering leak, which we've showed many times, just that input seal. It does need also the bushes for that, so we're going to take the power steering rack out. We've done that before, upgrade those to the poly bushes. We'll do brake hoses because we don't know how old they are, and then we're going to flush the brake system, just all of that, so that he can basically treat this as a brand new car and then follow the recommended service interval. But let's see if it doesn't really want to kick down there, just because I think once we do that and we just tune it a little bit, I think it's going to be... There we go. Got a little bit light on the throttle there, but just a common thing. So when you don't have that oil in those pistons and the dampers up there, the pistons lift too quickly, and you basically just get a lean condition before everything catches up, and that's what happens when you put your foot down. That's why you want that oil. I like to use a little bit thicker oil. Just they just accelerate better. But we're gonna turn around here. Or wait, we do have, I'm going on my classic test route here. Up front here we have, or just ahead of us, the really bumpy bit of road that I like to test customer cars on. Because that way, let me turn off the noisy windshield wipers. They do park though. And then we can hear if this thing actually is nice and solid and quiet. So this thing is as it should be. No weird rocks, knocks or rattles or anything. I'll turn around up here, give you guys a little bit of view out the windshield on this really rainy, miserable day. We had some slight snow in the air earlier, but the heater seems to work. Heating system is not as good as the Series 1 as it is on the Series 2 or Series 3, but should still be nice and warm in the cabin. Oil pressure is absolutely excellent. Yeah, there's a lot of water on the road here. But we'll turn around up here and drive back. This power steering is ridiculously light on Series 1s. It is pinky. Probably closest you'll get in a European car to American power steering of like a 50s or 60s car. So yeah, has good power pulling away there. And now that we're up to temperature, that hesitation is less of an issue. Also going to check and pull the plugs, just make sure it's not running a little bit lean. But there we go, kicks down nicely and is running as it should. Absolutely gorgeous Series 1. I know I'm saying that, but it's not often you see them as nice as this one. Now that you guys have a view out the window, you can see that it is not such a fun day. But car's already driven here, it's already dirty, so I thought we'd go for a test drive anyways, and then I can start on all the work on it. But I'll show you guys the windshield wipers. You can see what the left one is going too far here in the bottom, going over that piece of chrome, which it shouldn't. So I'm going to tell him and I'll adjust that. But other than that, just a service, and this thing is absolutely flawless. And now it's inside here, but just look at all the beading everywhere. It's not wax, it's some sort of coating that they use, not ceramic, but something else. Don't really remember, but it looks fantastic, and they're going to do the same thing on my Rover. And then you sort of keep it up with a spray, and it's supposed to last forever, and it's not like a ceramic coating that it's difficult to get off if you ever need to actually work on the paint. So really cool, and looks fantastic. This is a really original car. It's never really had any major work done to it, besides a little bit of paint on one side where it was apparently keyed, which was some sad person who thought that was a fun idea. Under here, it's very original. So we're going to go replace some hoses and things. What I was talking about before is, see that sort of cardboard thing there? It's all held into place. That was a really original thing. I have that as well on my old S-Type. So that's really cool. But we're just going to go through that, replace the points, check all of that. It doesn't have any oil in the dash pots, like I said. It's You see it's pretty much empty. There should be some resistance. There's none. We're gonna fill that up and just, give it a complete service with all the fluids. But really, really gorgeous car. And also look at that old fan belt right there. So replace all of that and make sure it's a nice, reliable car for him. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see. I'll do this one video. It won't be super detailed, but I like to say bringing back to stage 0, which is where we do all the fluids, all the hoses, and everything, and bring this thing back so that it's basically like the day it left the showroom, and you can restart the service book from page 1. So let me know if you want to see a little bit of a video of that, because that's something I think is really good to do to a car that you have bought. You don't know exactly what's been done and what hasn't been done, and then you know that you can trust everything, that everything is new, and you know how you can keep up servicing. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. And if you're not already subscribed to Living with a Classic, please do subscribe. It really does help out a lot. Till next time, I'm Adam, and this was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.